PV Sindhu needs no introduction. She is a legend and synonymous with Indian badminton. She is at a stage of her career where she has achieved a lot and possibilities remain for more success. Let's talk to two-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu about her future plans and her recent marriage with businessman Venkat Datta. Thank you, PV, for agreeing to talk to PTI. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
PV, athletes go through a lot of phases in their career. They have success, they have initial struggle, then they have heartbreaks, then they again try to come back, bounce back in the game. Tell us, how do you handle all these phases and how you as an athlete, as a person, has evolved over the years?
I think it's been a journey, and I think so many years, I think I've learned a lot of things, a lot of experience, and I think it gave me everything basically, because when I started playing badminton, of course badminton is my passion, and since then, as you said, I've had a lot of ups and downs. My life has changed, and I've seen a lot through sport. I think it was important for me to believe in myself when there were days where I was injured and I didn't know if I can come back and I can be my 100%, which happened in 2015 when I had an injury. But then I bounced back, I got a silver at Rio. So there have been ups and downs, and it is all part and parcel of life. But I think if I have to explain it in one sentence, definitely yes, my life has changed a lot since the time I've started, and till now I've had a lot of awards, rewards, which has given me a lot of confidence, and I'm happy that I'm here today, and I'm very grateful for whatever I've achieved. And when I look back, I can tell that yes, I have done whatever I could.
So success and failures, they do affect people, whether they are a sports person or an ordinary person. So what changes you found in yourself, in your own personality as a person and as a badminton player?
When you have a very successful life, or when you keep winning, when you're very successful, I think that time everything is happy, everything is nice. You are like very happy and you just keep moving forward. But it hits you when you are actually not able to win or not able to get that success, or when you're actually at your lows. That is when it is important for an athlete to stay there and keep believing in yourself. Yeah, there were days where, when I lost matches which were very, very close. There were days where I was like, why am I losing? What is happening? Can I bounce back? Can I come back stronger? And especially lowest is when it hits you really hard when you're injured, especially terms where I had a stress fracture. I was like, can I come back? I was doubting myself, but I think people around me were very, very supportive in terms of, they were like, it's okay, we believe in yourself, you can do it. I think that itself has given me a lot of boost and a lot of confidence, and I'm very lucky to say that I have parents who are sports persons, and they know what it is and what it takes, because they have experienced so much that they tell me that, okay, this is what happens, and you need to be stronger and you need to come back stronger. So I think there were days where it was really hard for me to say that, why is this happening to me? But I think my father told me that, it is okay. It is okay to lose. It is important that you learn from your mistakes and bounce back stronger. And that's what I've learned in these years. And I've come back stronger. Because in the recent times also, people were expecting another medal from me at the Olympics, but it didn't happen. I mean, it is sad, but also it is important to know that it is not just the end of the world, and you have a lot more to do.
So who do you trust the most when it comes to taking advice? Do you go to your coach or your parents?
Of course, first is family members, mom, dad, because from the young age, since the time you were born until now, they've kept guiding you, they kept telling you what it is. And in a way, I'm a little bit lucky because, they have played sport. So they also have experienced, and they tell me that, okay, this is what you feel, and we don't want you to go that way, and they guided me in a right way. So of course family comes first, and then of course the coach, where you have to trust him no matter what, because he's the one who's always there on court. And the mindset is very important, because the relationship between a coach and an athlete needs to be very clear in terms of what is going in your head, on court and also off court when you're training. What do you feel? Coach needs to understand, even though you, as an athlete, if I'm not able to say what is happening in the court, as a coach, he understands and he feels you, what you feel. So it's very important to also have that trust between a coach and an athlete.
So which coach had that trait of understanding you without you saying anything?
I think I've had a lot of coaches in my career so far, since the time I've started until now. And I'm grateful that I've learned a lot from each and every coach, because every coach has a different mindset and every coach thinks differently. So in terms, obviously when you start off with a coach, I mean, in just few days you don't understand, or you don't know what the coach is trying to tell you, or coach doesn't understand as an athlete what I'm trying to tell him. So it does take time, but after a certain time, I think the bonding is very, very important. And I think I've had a wonderful bonding with every coach that I've been with. And
No names.
No names, because I've had a lot of coaches. My first coach was Mehboob Ali sir when I started, and then Muhammad Ali, and then a lot of them. So I think I'm very thankful to each and every one, in my journey, because I've had a lot of achievements because of them.
So how is this phase of your career when you don't need to prove yourself? You have already done, your legend has only grown over a period of time. So what this phase is about? You have just won Syed Modi 300. It's not a big tournament, but still, a win is a win. A title gives you confidence.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely did give me a lot of confidence, because it was a long gap between tournament win. I was playing well. I was coming to semi-finals. I played the finals and lost in the finals. But I think that win itself gives you a lot of confidence. And of course, it is special for me, because it was end of the year, and then ending the year with a win definitely gives you that boost. And apart from that, I think it's very important that you are feeling really confident in what you do, and that itself gives you that confidence and that boost that yes, I can do much better. So
would you say it is a tough phase, because here again you have to probably start like a fresh?
I think, as you said, I don't have to prove anything. But I think for me, in these so many years, I've got a lot of experience playing so many tournaments and being in sport for a very, very long time. I think with that experience, I have to be smart enough to know what needs to be done. I mean, even now, like me, there are a lot of athletes in the world who have been playing for so many years. So I just feel that you have to be your 100%, and on that day, who plays well and give their best is a winner. I don't say that every single day I will be at my 100%. There will be days where I'm 90% or 50%. It is okay. But coming out from that and proving yourself and being at your best is very important.
Defeats still hurt? Or no, it doesn't make any difference now?
It does hurt. It does hurt anyone at any point of time, even though, let's say, if you don't have to prove anything, or if you have achieved everything and what is left, you might ask me what else is left. But I think for me, I feel that there is a lot of time left, and I can win a lot of tournaments, and I can play for so many more years, because if you are fit and if you're injury free, I think passion towards the sport itself will take you much more longer.
Do you have the same hunger and fire that you had before winning your first Olympic medal? So
Of
when
course.
you wake up or when you step on the court for training, is it the same hunger?
Of course, yes, because I am saying this because, when you see those wins, how happy it makes you and how much confidence it gives you, I think that itself will take you to another level. To see those wins again and again itself keeps that hunger going. So definitely, yes.
Seeing those wins again means you go back to the videos when you won and all?
Yeah, I mean, there are some clips where, when you're really young, when you look at it, I mean, it feels like, wow, you have done so much, and, why can't I do it more? You question yourself, and that's when it all starts. So, yes.
PV, now that 2025 season has started, do you see yourself cutting down on number of tournaments so that you can stay injury-free and get back the kind of results that you have got in the past?
Definitely, yes. There are a lot of tournaments. Every month we have like 2 tournaments, we are out for like 15 days, 20 days, definitely I will pick and choose tournaments, because as you said, yes, I need to stay injury free. That is very important. If you stay injury free, that's when you go and give your 100%, right? So I will definitely discuss it with my team, what tournaments to play and what not to play, because I have to also be physically and mentally strong and give my 100%.
So do you feel players should have that choice with them to pick and choose and not to be penalized by BWF as the system is now?
I think there are some tournaments too where BWF says that you have to play these tournaments because of the players' obligation and stuff. But apart from that, even players, I think, are also smart enough to pick and choose tournaments and play what is important. I think a couple of them play all the tournaments, but for me right now, my personal opinion is where I want to definitely pick and choose tournaments, what needs to be played and of course what needs to be chosen.
So we heard of an opinion where it was not proposed, but it was suggested that probably badminton can also have grand slams like tennis. So how do you see that? 4 big tournaments on the circuit, and then rest you can choose wherever you want to play or not. Will it work in badminton or no?
See, actually in badminton also we have something like that, but ours is not like a grand slam named as grand slam, but we have like Super 1000, Super 750, 500 and 300. So obviously 1000 is obviously the world championships, and of course the topmost is the Olympics, then the world championships, and then the world tour finals, and then the super series count on. But I think I mean, if there are name changes, maybe grand slams might come, but if I have to say, there are Super 1000s and 750s and 500. Obviously, again, you will have to pick and choose, because throughout the year you can't keep playing. Every athlete needs the break. Every athlete needs to be refreshed. They need to come back stronger. Physically, they need to be present right there. Mentally, they have to be very strong. So yeah, that's when I said you have to accordingly choose.
So in this new season, will you continue with Anup and Lee, or you have someone else? An arrangement is already there, and
right now I have a new support system. Of course, the SNC and physio are Nisha and Kshitij, and of course coach, not just like for me but as a group, he will be training the women's singles, Irvansha. Yeah. So he will be training a couple of women's singles as well, and also the men's singles. So it's like a group of people, not just like a single coach for me. So he's come in as a women's singles coach. So looking forward to working with him, and I have a good support system. So I hope they keep me fit and they keep me going.
So what is your own assessment about your game at this stage, where the victories again top 10 players, they haven't come? There are not many those big wins which actually gives you confidence. So what is your own assessment now?
I think now I am definitely working out on my skill and my speed. I think that's very important for me, because how much ever you play, you have to make sure you're perfect.
Sindhu still has to work on her skills, really?
Of course, of course. Every day is a new day. I think everyone should work on their skills, like every single day. That's my personal opinion, because you have to make it perfect. Every day is a new day for me.
So what is it? Forecourt or backcourt, or?
I mean, it's overall, like let's say I would say defense, or I would say attack, because now the game has been changing. Like sometimes, people have become really strong in their defense. So to break that, you have to work on that. Sometimes you have to also work on defense. Not everyone gives you to attack, because I'm a tall player and I have a good reach. So not everyone will give you to attack. So accordingly, you have to make changes where you have to have different opinions. You need to have plan A, you need to have plan B, and you have to keep changing. So for that to make perfect, you have to keep training.
So you have changed your training modules as well?
Yes, yes. I've been working, so.
So going back to the coach again, there are few people who feel that probably foreign coaches can help us more, but at the same time we have our own coaches going outside, and we also have our players seeking help from outside, like Sia Dutt and Sai Praneeth. They have all gone to US.
Yes.
What is your opinion? What works basically for everyone?
I think it's their personal opinion, but I would say, and we have really, really good coaches in terms of, I would say, ex-players have been really good. And I mean, it is always good to have experienced coaches because they know what it is, because they're experienced and they have played sport for a longer period of time. So I feel that it's their personal opinion whether if they want to go and train outside or train here, because we have good facilities, good infrastructure, good support. So I think, yeah, I would want to see a lot of ex-players who are coming and supporting the youngsters, yeah, to give them that confidence because they know what it is. And of course, there are a lot of programs. So, I mean, why not join the programs and, you know, it might be for a couple of months or a year or so, get into the programs and know what it is and get a wide range of, okay, what needs to be done, how you need to, you know, the load management needs to be perfect. How do you load an athlete when they're having a tournament or in the half season? So a coach or an ex-player needs to understand, and that is how you can guide a right athlete at the right time. Because without guidance, without the right proper guidance, I think an athlete can't become a champion. You need to have the right guidance at the right time. And I think it needs to start from the grassroots levels, not just after you come to a particular level, right? It needs to start from the grassroots level. That's when an athlete or a person would actually know the rules, regulations, and need to be in a right way and work hard at the same time.
Talking about women's game, we had you ready to take over from Saina Nehwal at one stage, but we don't see anyone who can take forward what you have done for Indian badminton. Why is that gulf? Is it just it depends on the player, his talent, skill, work, coaching? What is it? Why this gulf is there?
Definitely, yes, there is a lot of gap, and of course, I am hoping that gap closes soon. But apart from that, as I said, yeah, there are a lot of youngsters. I've seen in the Syed Modi also when I've played, there are a lot of Indian stars, a lot of youngsters, girls and boys who are doing really well. Like I would say Unnati, and also Malvika is doing really well right now. Shreyanshi is doing really well. So there are so many, if I have to name. There is Tanvi Sharma also who is doing really well. And I think it's very, very important to have the right guidance. I mean, people, and especially to the parents out there, I would want to say that they feel that, you know, putting their kids into where academies have successful athletes, putting their kids into that academies will definitely, even they feel that even their kids will become champions. But that is not right. You know, every athlete has a different mindset. Every athlete has a different style of play, different thinking. So they need to understand that. It's not just that if they put their kids into a particular academy, they'll have champions. It's not like that. Couple of people might have success at a very early age. Couple of people might take time. So they need to understand what it takes to become a champion. That's when I said they need to have the right guidance, and they need to know what is important to have in an athlete, because you can't train if, for example, you are physically fit and, you know, on court you're not that fit. You know, for that particular person you need to have a lot more on court skill, and for another person you need to have, if he's not physically fit, he needs to do a lot more of endurance. You can't combine both and just do a same type of training.
So realistic expectations should be there with the parents.
Exactly.
That is what you are saying. Right?
They need to know, they need to understand when you see an athlete, okay, what he is good at, what needs to be done. Every athlete is different, so you need to have different types of training, different methods. You can't keep one for everyone.
I see you wearing a Sana shirt. So do you follow motorsport?
I do watch, and of course now I'm really fortunate to be the brand ambassador for Puma, and of course I'm really looking forward. It's a new year and new brand, so getting into the first tournament, Indian Open, with Puma. And of course, in badminton, I think globally, first one to get into badminton, of course, as you know, is one of the fastest sport. And
you had associations with several brands. How Puma is different from others? Do you share anything common between Puma and you?
Yeah, I think the commitment towards the sport, I think that is something common, I would say, and I really like when I actually thought, and when I saw and when we approached and when we spoke about it, I think that was one thing in common, where the commitment towards the sport. And I think Puma has been very, very committed towards the sport for so many years. And I think when it comes to, cricket or boxing or, archery, I think shooting, and now of course into into badminton. I think Puma has always been very, very supportive, and they've been very supportive to the youngsters as well, and also the para athletes, and they've been supporting leagues as well. So I think it's a very good thing where the commitment towards the sport is very important. And of course, after everything, the style comes into picture, where every athlete wants to be stylish, wants to be looked stylish, not only off court, but also on court, because that kind of gives you that confidence. Because at the end of the day, you want to look stylish, you want to look comfortable in what you wear. And I think that resembles me with Puma, and I'm really looking forward by entering this tournament with brand Puma.
Yeah. PV, you have entered into a new phase of your life. Tell us about that. How did you meet Venkat Datta, and what were his qualities that you found very appealing and you said yes to him, and how it has been so far?
Of course, I call him Datta. I mean, his full name is Venkat Sai Datta. We've been family friends for a very long time, and of course, we've not met a lot of times, but it was just like in some of the functions we used to just meet, say just hi, bye, that is it. And I think 2 years back, we met in a flight and we kept talking, and that's how it all started. And we started talking about sport, and that's when I got to know that he's very much interested in sport, and he's he keeps talking about cricket and other different sports, and I think that's how we started talking and we got close. And of course, after that, I was also mostly focusing on the tournaments and then the Olympics. And after Olympics, then we decided to settle down. We wanted to get married, and then our parents spoke, and that's how it happened. But I think he's very supportive, and I'm very lucky that he knows and he has a lot of knowledge about sports. And in a way, he supports me no matter what. And he's like, how many ever years you want to play, I will support. So what else you need?
I just have 2 more questions. Are you into books? Do you read some books?
Not really.
No?
Not really, because I don't have much time. Yeah, it's mostly traveling, and of course, badminton is such that we have a lot of competitions and a lot of traveling.
And you always have phone with you, so do you watch some web series on phone, or probably you can read also if you are interested?
Not really into reading, but sometimes I think that, okay, I need to start reading, but I'm like, again, maybe later. But otherwise, yeah, phone is obviously a constant, and of course, sometimes, when I have time, I just go into social media or some web series, something like that. Yeah.
PV, if you now that we come to the conclusion of this interview, I would like to know what has been your biggest learning in your career as a person, as an athlete. What is it?
I think being patient. I think that has taught me a lot in life, being patient and wait for the right time. Because sometimes game teaches you to be patient. No matter what, you have to keep waiting till you get, whether it is success or whether it is the right time or whether it is the right shot, you have to wait for the right time to do the right thing. So yeah, that has taught me, yes.
Thank you so much, PV, for taking time out and talking to PTI. It was lovely interaction with you.
Thank you.
So PV Sindhu, she still has hunger and fire in her belly for more success. She has changed her training modules, and she plans to cut down on the number of tournaments this season to stay injury-free and get the success that she has always desired.